Should I love 'em or leave 'em?
Hi, this is Tina with LuvemOrLeavem.com, and today's topic comes to us from Sarah over at the No Ricks Allowed blog, and it is, how does getting married young affect a marriage? Well, Sarah is a young blogger and filmmaker who just got married right out of high school, and that's why she was curious about our opinion on the topic. So, here's my take on this. Well, as a mom of almost teenagers, I have to say that my first reaction when I think about somebody getting married young, especially right out of high school, is, oh, you should wait, because I'm a mom, and I know that just freaks me out. But when I read Sarah's blog, she's very mature. She's been through the premarital counseling at her church, and she seemed to have a pretty good handle on what marriage is about. As much as you can before you're actually married. A lot of times I think about young people that want to get married and they're just crazy in love. They can't spend 2 seconds apart, and they think that that's going to get them through a lifetime of marriage. And as wonderful as love is, it's not enough to get you through a lifetime of marriage. But Sarah seemed to really have a good handle on that. So I guess if the maturity's there, which I think a lot of times it isn't for young people, sometimes it isn't for older people too, but if that maturity's not there, then yes, I mean, definitely you would need to wait. But to say, well, if the maturity's there, then I went on to some other topics. So here's the next one. Well, one of the next things I thought about, still kind of having that instinct to think that people should wait, was, boy, if you have that maturity, then what would I tell someone to wait for? And that was when I really drew a blank, because in any big decision in life, there is never a perfect time. There are bad times, and I think you kind of know when it's a bad time. I mean, if your life is falling apart around you, or I don't know, you've declared bankruptcy, or there's just certain things where you say, I'm maxed out. I can't add something like marriage on top of that. So, definitely there are bad times. But if you can rule those out, and the thing that's holding you back is waiting for a perfect time, then that's not good either. Because I have friends that have been talking about getting married for 10 years and they're still waiting for the perfect time. Next year, they think they'll have more money, they can have that dream wedding, or they'll be more set in their career, or there'll just be something that's always in the future that will make it the perfect time. And there is never a perfect time. So a lot of times when you rule out that it's no longer a bad time, it's about the best timing that you're going to get. So that was really where I stood on that one. I just couldn't come up with anything specific that you should wait for. So I guess if you do kind of rule out that it's not a bad time, then we'll move on to some of the other things that I looked at. Well, the next thing I did was to go through dilemmas on Love 'em or Leave 'em that related to age. And I found plenty from people that said, I was young when I got married, we didn't really know what we were getting into, and that's why our marriage was a disaster. But I found plenty from people that were older that said, maybe I should have gotten married when I was a little younger. I waited kind of long, and by then I was so set in my ways, or I had lots of priorities in life and I couldn't make my marriage the priority that it needed to be. So it was very evenly split, and I was a little surprised at that. But when I looked at the couples that I know in real life, that have gotten married at all different ages, I couldn't find any pattern as to, ones that were still happily married and ones that were divorced. I didn't see any pattern as it related to age. Some have been younger and some were older. So I have to admit that in my heart, I still am tempted to say wait, and certainly if you were my child, I would say wait, just because that's just my instinct. But when I look at the facts and I look at the information that's out there, I didn't really see anything to support, yes, you should wait, your odds are going to be better if you're older than if you're younger. So with that in mind, I guess age is really just one of the many things that make up who you are as a person, and all of that combines to determine whether or not you're going to have what it takes to put into a marriage and have it be successful, and the same thing with your partner. So with that said, no, I cannot conclusively say that you should wait to get married based on that information, even though in my heart that's kind of the way I feel. So thanks so much for joining us today. Bye-bye.